Hi there, and welcome back to Boring Science Stories, your quiet place beneath the stars, where curiosity is calm and science drifts like a lullaby. Tonight, as your breath softens and your pillow gently gathers your thoughts, let's turn slowly inward, past the trees, beneath the roots, into the warm, secret chambers deep within the earth. Far below your feet, a hidden heart pulses, not with thunder, but with warmth. It doesn't roar, it murmurs, whispering old stories carved in stone and fire. Are you listening from somewhere warm tonight? Or somewhere quiet? Let me know where this little voice finds you. It's always a comfort to hear. And if these gentle journeys bring peace to your night, feel free to like and subscribe. Now take a slow, easy breath. Let your eyelids grow heavy and come with me downward, deeper, to where the earth dreams in molten silence. Close your eyes now. Let the noise above ground fade away. The cities, the clouds, the chatter of today. Beneath your bed, beneath your home, beneath the roots of trees, there is another world. A quiet one, a deep one, and it's been there since the beginning. We begin with the crust. It's the skin of our earth, thin and brittle like a shell on an ancient egg. You walk on it, build your stories upon it. But this crust is just a whisper above something older, something deeper, something warm. Beneath that crust lies the mantle, not a place of fire and fury like you may have seen in movies, but a slowly flowing sea of solid rock, warm like memory. It moves so gently you could never hear it, but it moves. And that movement is the breath of a world still alive. This mantle, it's like the slow heartbeat of the earth. Not fast, not loud, but steady, reliable. And it's here, in this slow-moving solid sea, where the story of volcanoes begins. Deeper still, far beneath even the mantle, is something more ancient still. The outer core, a swirling liquid metal ocean made mostly of iron and nickel, hotter than the surface of the sun, yet it flows in darkness, silent, invisible. The core doesn't roar. It hums, it spins, it whispers a magnetic lullaby that wraps our whole planet in a protective field, shielding us from solar winds, holding our compass steady, guarding our sleep. And at the very center, a solid inner core, a sphere of metal so hot, so pressurized, it stays solid despite the heat. It doesn't shine, but it glows in thought. It doesn't move fast, but it turns slowly, like a dream turning in its sleep. This deep place, this hidden center, it holds the leftover heat from Earth's birth billions of years ago, and it still breathes it outward, ever so slowly, like the warmth from your chest on a cold night. This heat rises, pushing gently upward through the mantle, carrying old secrets with it. You see, Earth is not dead. It is not silent. It is not cold. It is a sleeping giant, wrapped in layers of memory, warmth, and motion. And sometimes this giant stirs. Sometimes the heat trapped below grows restless. It looks for a way out. It rises through cracks, soft spots, and ancient scars in the crust. And when you are built from this place. And tonight, as your breath slows, you return to it. Let this thought rock you to sleep. That under every mountain, every tree, every step you take, there lies a giant, ancient, warm, and gentle, still holding on to its fire. You don't have to hear it, you just have to remember. The earth does not sleep because it is tired. It sleeps because it dreams. And in its dreams, volcanoes are born. Beneath your feet, a hidden stream flows, not of water, but of ancient fire. There is a river beneath you, not made of water, not made of ice, but of something older, something glowing. It doesn't sparkle in sunlight. It doesn't babble like a stream or flood like rain. This river moves in silence, buried deep beneath the crust you walk upon. And though it's hidden, it's always there, flowing slowly through the soft belly of the world. This river has a name. We call it magma. It is Earth's inner fire, a molten mixture of melted rock, crystals, and dissolved gases, trapped within the planet's embrace. Not quite liquid, not quite solid, but something between. If you could watch it, it would look like honey made of glowing stone, dripping through ancient cracks and soft spaces, winding its way through rock like breath through lungs. But you cannot see it, not unless the earth opens its mouth, not unless a volcano speaks. So let us go there now, in our minds. Let us close our eyes and float beneath the crust, down, down into the upper mantle, where the pressure is strong, the heat is thick, and time moves slower than thought. Here, magma is born. Imagine rock under so much pressure, so much heat, that it begins to soften. It begins to melt just a little, until parts of it become something new. Not hard, not rigid, but warm, glowing, and slow-moving. This is not the fire of matches, not the rage of surface flames. Magma is gentler than that. It swells, it flows. It curls around ancient cracks in the crust like smoke curling under a door. It remembers its shape. It remembers how to rise. Because magma wants to rise. It's lighter than the solid rock above it, full of trapped gases and heat that seek escape. So it begins to move. Not fast, never fast, but slowly, like syrup down the side of a sleeping mountain. It rises through the lithosphere, the hard outer shell of Earth, finding paths upward where rock is weak, where plates have pulled apart or pressed too tight. Always moving, always warm, always old. You might wonder, where does this fire come from? Why does the Earth still burn after all these years? The answer is written in time. The heat inside our planet is ancient. Some of it left over from when Earth first formed, from the collisions of cosmic dust and stone. Some of it comes from the decay of radioactive elements, still ticking gently inside Earth's rocky bones. These atoms fall apart slowly, releasing tiny pulses of heat that warm the mantle like embers under ashes. And all of this warmth, all of this ancient energy, it rises, it moves. It creates convection currents in the mantle, where hotter rock rises, cooler rock sinks, and the planet breathes with slow, geologic rhythm. This movement stirs the magma, it pulls the plates, it builds mountains, it opens oceans, and sometimes it whispers through volcanoes. But more often, it stays hidden. Beneath your town, beneath your toes, there may be nothing but old, solid crust. But beneath that, the magma still waits. It does not need to erupt to exist. It is always flowing, always shaping the world you live in, even if you never see it. Think of it like the bloodstream of the planet, carrying energy, carrying pressure, quietly keeping the Earth alive. And here's something beautiful. The rocks you see today, the ones in mountains, beaches, and riverbeds, many of them were once magma. When magma reaches the surface and cools, it becomes lava. And when that lava hardens, it forms igneous rock, black, red, gray, solid, sharp, ancient. Over time, these rocks break down into soil, feeding plants, anchoring forests, becoming the foundation for life itself. So the river of fire you cannot see becomes the world you can. The very ground you walk on, the stones you skip across lakes, the cliffs and canyons you marvel at, they all began as magma. Hot, molten, flowing far beneath your ancestors' feet. And now, they cradle your sleep. So tonight, as you drift off, remember that you are never far from fire. Not the kind that burns, but the kind that builds. You are sleeping above a river that does not roar, but glows gently, deep beneath the crust. It moves without asking permission. It shapes the continents while you dream. And just like your own breath, quiet, steady, unnoticed, this river keeps the planet alive. Let yourself float now, down through the crust, into the mantle, where magma swirls slowly like thoughts before sleep. Let its warmth hold you, its silence calm you, its story soothe you. And above it, above this glowing stream of ancient fire, lies the Earth's crust. It is the part we know best, the part we see. Mountains rise from it, forests root in it. We build homes and dreams upon it. But what many forget is that this crust, this surface, is not one solid piece. It is fragile, delicate, like the shell of an old spinning egg, not broken, but cracked in quiet ways. Imagine it now, a shell floating on a sea of warm rock, broken gently into pieces, not by chaos, not by disaster, but by time. We call these pieces tectonic plates, enormous slabs of crust and upper mantle, moving oh so slowly, slower than your fingernails grow, slower than the moon's soft rise. But they do move. Float for a moment above the Earth, high, high above the clouds, until the planet curls beneath you like a blue marble. Now look closer, not at the forests, not at the oceans, but at the skin of the Earth itself. You would see that it's split, like a puzzle with shifting pieces. These pieces slide past each other, push against one another, or pull gently apart. All of it so slow, you'd never notice in a day or even in a lifetime. But the Earth notices. Where two plates drift apart, magma rises to fill the gap. Where they crash together, mountains slowly form. And where they grind side by side, tension builds like a breath held too long. This tension, this quiet pressure, can sit there for centuries, building, waiting, and eventually it must release. That release can come as an earthquake, a sudden reminder that the ground is not still. Or it can come as a volcanic eruption, when pressure finds its escape through a vent in the crust. But not every crack leads to fire. Not every plate makes noise. Many simply move quietly, like slow dancers on a glowing floor. And in their slow, graceful shifts, they shape the very surface of our world. The Himalayas were born when two plates collided. The Atlantic Ocean widens every year as plates pull gently away from each other, letting magma rise and create new seafloor in its place. It's all part of the Earth's deep breath. Inhale, plates push. Exhale, plates pull. You might not feel it, but every second, somewhere beneath your feet, the world is adjusting itself. The crust isn't breaking, it's simply shifting, realigning its weight, responding to the warmth beneath it, the flow of the mantle, the whispers of magma. Sometimes it gets tired of holding in the pressure, and that's when cracks become more than lines. They become pathways, gateways for magma to rise, for volcanoes to form. Cradles mountains. Catches our every step. The crust doesn't have to be perfect to be dependable. It doesn't have to be unbroken to be beautiful. Its cracks are not weaknesses. They are how the earth breathes. So tonight, as you lie still, let your body do the same. Breathe gently. Let the pressure of the day soften. Let your own inner tension melt, like magma flowing between ancient stones. There's no need to be rigid. No need to be solid all the time. Even the earth, strong and vast as it is, knows when to shift, knows how to release. So, let go now. Sink into the deep, where crust becomes memory, and magma still hums beneath the surface. Because the story of volcanoes isn't just about fire. It's about patience, pressure, time, and the quiet grace of things that change slowly. The next time you look at a rock or walk across stone, remember, you are stepping on a layer thin as an eggshell. Cracked, yes, but still holding the dreams of a living, moving planet. And under it all, the fire is waiting. There comes a moment when even the quietest giants must sigh. The earth is still tonight. Her crust, cracked and delicate, rests like a dream beneath your body. The magma below flows slowly, soft and steady, like a river that has always known where to go. But even rivers sometimes rise. Even dreams sometimes stir. Tonight we drift closer to a moment the earth doesn't speak of often. Not out loud. But you can feel it. A slow build. A hush before a whisper. The breath she holds when she tries to keep the pressure in. You see, beneath that quiet crust, beneath the plates that move like drifting thoughts, magma sometimes gathers, not to destroy, but simply because the heat has nowhere else to go. It begins deep below, where rock melts and gases are released. Water vapor, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Invisible but strong. These gases don't like being trapped. And so, inside that magma, they form bubbles. Just like steam in a kettle, or breath caught in your chest. The magma rises slowly, carrying these gases with it. Upward, upward, searching for a weakness in the crust. A crack, a thin spot, a path. And sometimes it finds one, but not always right away. It doesn't scream. Not right away. It sighs. A deep, trembling release. First, you may hear it, a low rumble, a sound like thunder inside stone. Not sharp, but wide and soft, as if the planet itself is stretching in its sleep. Then the ground may shift just slightly. Rocks crack, air smells different, the sky holds its own breath too. This is the body of Earth preparing to let go. Pressure escapes through vents and fissures. Gas hisses into the air. Magma, now lighter, begins to rise faster, carried upward like a dream set free. And then the volcano opens. Not always with fire, sometimes with ash, sometimes with steam, sometimes with silence so thick it echoes. But always with relief. Because this is not rage, this is not punishment, this is release. The Earth is not angry, she is simply alive. Her eruptions are not tantrums, they are exhalations, breaths too long held. And just like any breath held too long, eventually it must go somewhere. The magma that reaches the surface becomes lava, hot, glowing, and slow. It pours from the volcano's side like a golden river, lighting the sky in orange waves. But even then, even in eruption, there is rhythm, there is calm. Some volcanoes erupt gently, like the ones in Hawaii, where lava flows in smooth curtains, so quiet you could whisper beside it. Others erupt more suddenly, if gas escapes all at once, if pressure breaks free without warning. But even those moments are part of a process, a cycle, a natural sigh in a very old body. And after the eruption, silence returns. Ash settles, lava cools, and the earth begins to rebuild herself, layer by layer, as if nothing ever happened. From destruction comes creation. From heat, new land is born. Volcanoes, after all, made the very crust we live upon. They built the islands, shaped the mountains, fed the soil. So when the earth exhales, she also creates. You may never see a volcano in your life, but its breath touches you every day. The minerals in your soil, the gases in your air, the very shape of your continent, all are echoes of that slow, powerful breath. So tonight, let that thought wrap around you, that even the strongest bodies must release, that even the most ancient hearts must sigh, and that there is beauty in letting go. If you've held anything too long today, a thought, a worry, a tension behind your ribs, let it go now. Breathe softly as the planet does. Let the pressure fall away. No need to erupt, but on the breath of a planet that still knows how to hold and how to let go.
Some nights the earth blossoms in light. Not all flowers grow in sunlight. Some bloom in darkness, from stone, from fire. They don't open with petals, but with glow, soft orange light, rising from mountains while the world sleeps. Not to frighten, but to remind us, even the earth dreams in color. These are volcanoes in bloom, and tonight we drift into their light. Let your breath slow, let the quiet return, and imagine standing beneath the velvet sky, stars stretched above you, silent and eternal. And far on the horizon, a gentle light begins to rise. Not lightning, not moonlight, but something born from within the earth. A glow growing slowly, then spilling upward like a flower unfolding in reverse. This is a volcanic eruption, but not the kind you fear. This one does not roar, it sings. In places like Hawaii, volcanoes erupt not with violence, but with grace. Lava flows from long cracks called rift zones, sliding across black rock like golden syrup. It hisses softly where it meets the sea, sending steam into the sky like a sigh. There's no panic, just warmth, just the island breathing, The Hawaiian people call these flows Pele's hair, delicate strands of lava stretched thin by the wind. You can see them glisten in the air, like threads of fire spun by a sleeping goddess. And if you were there, watching in the quiet of night, you'd feel not danger, but awe, because some volcanoes don't explode. They unfold, like lanterns blooming in the dark. Then there is Iceland, a land where ice meets fire and volcanoes hide beneath glaciers. When they stir, they do so with both heat and steam. Ash floats up, not in chaos, but in patterns, curling through the sky like slow-moving smoke signals. In 2021, a volcano near Reykjavik awoke after being silent for 800 years, and when it did, people gathered quietly, not to flee, but to watch. They stood under the stars, children wrapped in scarves, couples holding hands, and watched the earth glow. Lava fountains rose from the crack in the crust, not high, not wild, but steady, rhythmic, like the earth was breathing light. People roasted marshmallows nearby. They took photos, yes, but mostly they stood in silence, as if watching something sacred. Because when volcanoes bloom like this, they become more than mountains. They become reminders that beneath all our roads, all our buildings, all our plans, the earth is still creating, and sometimes she paints with fire. Even the ash, yes, even the gray clouds that rise from certain eruptions are part of the lullaby. Fine, soft, and light as powdered snow. Volcanic ash drifts gently when wind allows, blanketing fields, fertilizing it.
There is beauty there too. Not every eruption is loud. Not every eruption is fear. Some are poetry. Moments when Earth speaks not in rage, but in color, in heat, in slow, steady breath. And from these eruptions, new islands rise, new mountains grow, new soil forms. It's easy to think of volcanoes as endings, but they are always beginnings. Lava cools, it becomes rock. That rock breaks down, becomes dirt. Plants grow, life returns. In this way, volcanic eruptions are not destruction. They are transformation. Even in places where eruptions are more sudden, like Mount Etna in Italy or Mount Yasur in Vanuatu, the people who live nearby do not run. They live with the volcano. They listen to it. They speak of it with respect. They know when it breathes too fast. They know when the mountain needs space. And when it glows at night, they say it is speaking or dreaming. So if you ever find yourself near a volcano, and the sky begins to glow, and the earth hums beneath your feet, do not fear. Step back, yes, be safe, but also be still. Watch, because you are witnessing one of nature's rarest, oldest lullabies. A bloom of fire, petals of molten stone, a whisper from the planet's core, rising to the surface to say, I'm still here, still breathing, still becoming. So tonight, as you rest, let yourself imagine those fire flowers opening slowly across the dark earth, on mountaintops, in icy valleys, by quiet shores. Each one is a reminder that even in the darkest night, something warm is always growing, that even from deep inside, the earth sends up its light. You are safe, you are small, and you are part of something vast that sometimes blooms in flame, but always, always ends in peace. Let that image hold you. Let it rock you to sleep. And remember, when volcanoes bloom, they are not only fire, they are memory, they are hope, they are the earth dreaming with you. The earth exhales, and from the silence that follows, something green is born. The fire has cooled. The sky is still again. The volcano that bloomed in the night all born from deep within Earth's mantle, now spread across the surface like powdered promise. The ash breaks down in the rain, it softens, mixes with soil, and what was once fire becomes food. In places where volcanoes erupted, forests flourish. The soil is thick, dark, alive. Banana trees grow taller in volcanic soil. Vineyards cling to volcanic slopes. Coffee beans bloom sweeter in the shadow of ancient eruptions. Even after disaster, especially after disaster, life returns, and it returns stronger. Let's float now to Indonesia, where thousands of years of eruptions have fed the land. The rice terraces stretch like green staircases across hills once formed by lava. People here thank the volcanoes, not because they are harmless, but because they give back. Or drift with me to Italy, where the shadow of Mount Vesuvius touches the city of Naples. Nearby, tomatoes grow in soil fed by ancient ash. They say it gives them flavor, depth, life drawn from fire. Even in Iceland, where eruptions are recent, the moss returns first, soft and green, spreading across fresh lava like a promise. Then come the flowers, then the birds, then the people. This is the quiet truth of volcanoes. They destroy, yes, but then they restore. They make the land fertile. They give back what they took in time. They remind us that even the fiercest things in nature can be followed by growth, beauty, peace. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, let that thought settle inside you like ash becoming soil. That even after chaos, you can bloom. That even when your life feels scorched or darkened, something new can grow there, something green, something strong. The earth teaches us gently, over centuries, that healing is always possible. That fire doesn't just end stories, it starts them. So if today was heavy, if something inside you cracked, or crumbled, or burned, know this: the ash will settle, the soil will grow richer, and soon, without you forcing it, a seed will arrive. You don't have to know how, you don't have to try, the world will bring it. And you will bloom again. Because you are made of earth, of stone and stardust, of magma and moss. And your story, like the planets, will always find its way forward. Let yourself rest now. The volcano sleeps. The stars are back in their places. The soil is soft again. And tomorrow, new life will begin. Up, if mind paid him, Jer a trance. And before your eyes fully close, before dreams carry you completely, call along. If this gentle journey soothed your heart, if you felt calm drifting through the fire and ash, if this story helped you breathe a little softer, then I invite you to help this channel grow. Call, just like the seeds after the ash. Like this video, comment with your favorite moment from Earth's quiet power, and subscribe so you never miss another peaceful bedtime science story again.